ich bin ein bisschen aufgeregt. So ein bisschen flattert mein Magen jetzt.
Wir werden einfach genießen.
Aber ich bin immer weniger aufgeregt tatsächlich. Nur so jetzt kurz bevor das losgeht, weißt du, und diese Introduction. 40, okay. Let's go.
And start.
Hier Mikro passt auch alles, denke ich.
Ja.
Welcome to the world of Rouge. I am Oliwia Rouge and Shredy is here with me. Shredy, it's already the 6th episode. The time is going by very fast.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm happy that we have found our flow and we have it.
Yeah, I'm very happy also because we've been working on this for months, since April, before even this podcast came into our mind. With the photography and all the things that we made, and all the talking and all the planning and all the strategy, we worked for months on this. And now the podcast is here, and we are 6 episodes already. This is amazing.
And we even overcame this ban of the channel.
Yeah. They tried to take our channel down. We brought it back. We opened all those Patreon and OnlyFans and all the things. And there's a lot of engagement, a lot of audience. This is amazing. Because we can start to see how the fruits of our work look like. This is amazing. Months of dedication and consistency and work. This is. I'm so glad that our audience is watching our journey, because I know also from my audience also, they've seen this before. How the development happens, how we start, how we create this. Artistic identity and how we create this brand, this project. So this is an amazing experience.
I am very happy to be part of it. And as you say, that we can now see the fruits and we have this flow and this excitement getting bigger, but also the self-esteem is also getting bigger.
Yeah. I mean, the transformation is holistic. It is, we have 6 episodes of the podcast. We have this photography on Instagram and OnlyFans and all those things. But also this is a reflection of the transformation of the spirit, the growth of the spirit. This is just a mirror. So kind of the spiritual transformation is in line with the achievements and the fruits and what we're having. So I invite everyone really to try to go through this journey, because it's worth it.
It's worth it.
Especially that you make it sovereignly, without being dependent on somebody else or that this is your business, that this is your art, this is your message, this is your audience. Everything that we make is for this. And there are really people like our audience who are waiting for this inspiration to come.
Yesterday when I was working on some things for Oliwia Rouge, I was such an amazing flow. It didn't even felt like work. Even though I had to do technical stuff, it was so much fun because I knew it is for our project. It is for our sovereign growth. So then I realized that it is so worth it to go through this journey, because usually you go to work and you're really counting every hour until you can go home, and you live from Friday to Monday basically, because these are the only 2 days that you are free, and the rest of the week it's just like putting your spirit on hold. But this one, you are 24/7 and engaged in your work, but it doesn't feel like work at the same time. It feels like creativity only getting bigger, and the growth of oneself also getting bigger.
Yeah. You know what? I have no problem with people that when you work a certain period of time, like at university, I also worked as an employee, and I had to do some kind of work where I clean or do things like this. But this was an investment in my studies. And the moment I studied my profession, all this knowledge gave me access to really a sovereign life. So of course, everyone can learn and grow and work as an employee and try to work with others, because this is also an important experience, like how we learn to interact with people, how we can judge the qualities of people, if they are truth, honest, or toxic, or like they are objective oriented, if they are like selfish. We can see people. So kind of it's good to go through to go into experiences and to learn a lot as an employee even. But in a certain period of time, some people have more aspirations.
As you say, some people have more aspirations. Me also, I have like years of experience in different areas. I did a lot of jobs, but at some point I realized there's too many limitations and there were no possibility to grow where I felt like my spirit feels fed. Like it can grow and grow and grow and gets more and more inspiration from the job itself. It was good for a limited time and I always enjoyed this communication with other people, but on some levels there was a lack. So what we are doing, for sure, it feels like a huge privilege to be there already, but actually no, but it is a huge privilege and I get more and more bewusst about it. The awareness that this is a privilege and also that we already started the journey, we are on track, even gives me more motivation and excitement.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
and it's so beautiful also to see, like when I look at you and how you transform, it is magical. You know, every time we look at a human being that makes this transformation, this is like magic. Many people cannot do it. Many people reach and finish their lives without making this transformation, without claiming their sovereignty in their life, without transcending, living their whole lives. And it's so beautiful to see someone who is really making the transformation and you grow. It is so beautiful.
Thank you so much. I also really enjoy it with all its challenges. But again, to see the fruits, this is worth it. This is everything what I always wished for. Yes, so 6th episode, we are on track. We still have questions that we want to answer. And today we have a question from Sargon Murt, which I will read out to you.
Our loyal fan.
Yes. There's several questions. I'm starting with, how does the relationship between a man and a woman begin? It's a very open one. And I think of several things. Some people actively want to find a partner. And now in this digital lifestyle, you can go on certain apps and find someone, or to go to places and actively also speak to women if you want to find a relationship. But in my cases, for example, like I never search like actively. I like to go into this flow of just having a meeting with friends or going into some places to enjoy a concert, for example. And then if I meet someone where there's a certain flow, it develops from this. It's more exciting for me.
Yeah, I think that this is, can I see it one more time? This is how does the relationship between a man and a woman, I think it's like kind of the relationship, not how the meeting happens. I think so, but anyway, like kind of course you can meet people on the street, in bars and cafes and clubs, on the apps. But a relationship, to start a relationship, I don't think that there is one recipe for everyone.
Yes.
And also, even in a relationship between a man and a woman, there are two parts. So kind of, it's not necessarily the same for both of them. You know, so the man is something, because not all men are the same, not all women are the same, but many people look to start their relationship, for example, from a primal needs, like let's say sexuality, or like they are not seeing anything else but the sexuality. They're seeing a person, and whatever she says, yeah, let's get to the point. Yeah, let's get to the point. From his point of view, the point is a sexual act. Some people have other needs. There are not only sexual needs, primal needs, also kind of emotional needs. There are intellectual needs. There are spiritual, like so. Everyone starts the relationship from a different impulse. And
sometimes the family says it's time to have a relationship. And they're like, okay, so I'm gonna go out and maybe I find a nice woman or a nice man. So my family will,
Yeah, in certain
will be
societies, they start the relationships.
Yeah.
In certain societies, the mother of the man and the mother of the woman meet and they make a deal.
Yeah.
And that's how they start a relationship. So also society is a factor.
For sure. This is a very open question. How does the relationship between a man and a woman begin? So for me, I can only relate to my own experiences. And some people maybe have this talk if they're in a relationship, but I think most in the cases you meet a person, you feel there's a flow, and then with time you realize, okay, this feels like a partnership, and I also want to get stronger in this dynamics. I want this dynamic to grow. So then other steps would be like to move in together or announce it and call yourself like partner. Yeah. But therefore, I would like to go to the next one.
Yeah, but like starting the relationship, it is not something that is. It is something essential, because starting a relationship that is supposed to succeed. Everyone can start a relationship. Like a relationship to start is not a big deal. Do you want to start a relationship that leads to harmony and transformation and growth and unity, and or you just want to start a relationship that can end soon? And we talked about maybe last time also about the idea which motives you come with, which goals, which agendas. Are you starting the interaction with a mask in order kind of to impress the other person, or like kind of you are projecting some traits on another person? Like the first thing that starts the relationship is important.
There's several factors. Is it coming from this society need to start a relationship? Or do I really want to find a partner to feel connected to another spirit and to grow together? Or do I start a relationship out of loneliness? Maybe.
For example.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The next question is, how can one choose the suitable woman? I would like to give this question to you and hear your opinion first.
Yeah. I mean, the encounter between people is depending on attraction, let's say. Sexual attraction is a good place to start from, because at the end of the day, we are dealing with a male and a female. Mm-hmm. But since we are not just animals, and we have other brains, so some people have other needs, especially people who are like more developed in the emotional and the intellectual. Some people, it's enough for them to have, some people, it's enough for them to have a sexual encounter to bring kids to the world. The man goes to work the whole day. The wife goes to the work the whole day, and they meet in the evening. They don't know each other. They're not living with each other. They have other things. And that's enough for them. And that's okay. They suit each other. They're suitable for each other. Some people, this is not enough, and they need a different kind of unity. They need a different kind of interaction. So kind of the suitable what suits each other. It depends on who you are. What are your needs? The level of your consciousness. Are you also emotionally conscious? Are you intellectually conscious? Are you spiritually conscious? Or you're just subconscious, programmed by your instincts and sexuality and the social belief systems? This, if you are like this, people like you will suit you.
Mm-hmm. And then you just look on the outside how the culture is having what kind of relationships, and you just copy what there is.
So kind of you need to know yourself, first of all, in order to know what suits you. There is no one pattern that is relevant to everyone.
The more aware you are, the more challenging it might get to find a partner where you think like this could be a strong connection with a very beautiful exchange, no?
I think the opposite.
Huh.
Yeah. The more aware you are, the more you know what you want, the more like kind of if you see, it becomes more easy to know and to navigate. If you don't see, it becomes more challenging. It's not to be aware.
But if you have like high awareness on the emotional and the spiritual level, then you would like to find a woman which is on the same level, no? And there are not so many people then, because a lot of people have a certain level based on the culture and society they live in. That's enough. That's it. So then you might look, or there's a lot of women, but less women on the same level.
Yeah, but if you are aware and conscious, you immediately see not relevant, not relevant, not relevant, not relevant. You will immediately see the red flags. You will not give it a chance. You will not waste on it energy. You will not give it a second chance. You want to say, maybe she will change. Maybe you're already aware. You already see that it's not suitable. So you already filter out so many irrelevant opportunities, so many irrelevant options. While many people who are not aware, they're still researching, digging into the relationship. Let's go date. Maybe it works. Maybe let's talk a little bit more. When they are not aware, they need to spend a lot of time in order to explore the other person. When you are aware, you see it immediately. Not relevant, not relevant, not relevant, not relevant.
I thought totally the opposite. But what you're saying makes so much sense for me. Now I switched my opinion. That's so true. The less aware you are, the more likely you just go into dynamics, and you are like, as you say, you try to find out if it fits. Maybe one more chance. Maybe it's gonna fit. And in the end, you might go into some compromises with yourself, and you kind of feel, it's not so comfortable. But now we are in a relationship already. Just keep it this way. And then you stay in a relation that's not so fruitful as it could actually be.
Yeah, and it's not only not fruitful. Many people succeed to hold their relationship together because they succeed to find a scapegoat, an outsider that unites them. You know what I mean? There's a couple that their relationship is not really good with each other, and they say, the man or the wife or the boyfriend or the girlfriend go to each other. Did you see my cousin, what she made? Or yeah, she did this. And suddenly they come into relationship with each other, unity, not because they love each other, because they found an outsider. That's why many people love to gossip and to find scapegoats, because this keeps their relationships in line, not out of love, but out of jealousy, out of fear, out of pride.
So true.
Yeah, so not to get confused why many people who are not aware, suddenly they have sustainable relationships. It's not because they love each other.
And this is a phenomenon where you can see not only in relationships, but in friendships or at work even. And this is also a very primal need, actually, to have you against someone, something else, to strengthen the dynamic between the people.
For me, it's like this. If I like a woman, and she's beyond my league. So I need to work on myself as a man in order to match that level of awareness. Yeah, she's attractive. Yeah, she's sensitive. Yeah, she's beautiful. But if she's beyond my league, she doesn't like me, it means that I need to grow in order to match that resonance. Now, if I cannot do it, then I start to look at the right wing. Yeah. When they are blaming migrant, no, you go work on your masculinity. You have a problem with your manhood because your mom makes you bank transfers. You're sitting on the job center or you're drinking beer and you have no passion, you have no achievements, you have no sovereignty, somebody else is giving you, the whole system is making your life easy without you needing to be sovereign. And suddenly there's another man that has experienced a different reality, that his masculinity is on a different level. You cannot scapegoat that person because you lack some masculinity. You need to work on yourself in order to match that vibe. So this has to do with the whole thing that if I need to love instead of gossiping about somebody from outside in a relationship in order to save the relationship and in order to make the woman want to be with me, so I'm gossiping about the other person, this is a mirror. I need to work on myself and to grow as a man, as masculine, as sovereign, and there's a lot of things to work on. The easiest thing is to point fingers at somebody from the outside.
But to work on yourself, it's a lot of dedication. And a lot of people don't even know how to start this journey. The society is also raised like this, to point on others with fingers. And we are not taught how to truly work on yourself and improve yourself. But it feeds more this kind of toxic behaviors to point on others. You can see it in the news, in the television, how people in politics talk. It's all around us. And it goes down from above to down. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it very obvious when people have a conflict in the family. And in order to save the conflict and to save the relationship, they start to trigger problems with someone outside this thing in order to avoid being held accountable. So there are no shortcuts in order to maintain this thing, to find the suitable woman. There is a lot of things that we need to avoid, especially that many times when you find a suitable woman and you have a beautiful unity, this also triggers the insecurities of the people around, of the family, of society. So they start to become uncomfortable because this unity and this success of this relationship start to reflect their lack of capabilities to create such harmony. So they feel they must destroy this mirror. So they start to try to infiltrate and to try to separate between both. So, and of course, the mother is strong in the eyes of the son, and the mother is strong in the eyes of the daughter. And now she starts to compete between the daughter, between the husband and herself. In the eyes of whatever, they start to find ways of finding how they can separate them and to start to play emotional manipulation. Are you strong enough to be aware of the dynamics and not to allow those things to infiltrate and to destroy your relationship with your suitable woman?
This is so sad. That instead of, again, we talked about it, I think, in the 4th episode, when we overcame this thing with YouTube, when they shut us down, that people, instead of getting inspired, even your relative, instead of getting inspired and be happy and see this energy, this dynamic that both people have, and to think like, I want something like this also for myself, and to go into self-improvement and to look out for this person, no, they try to destroy it. Because if I cannot have it, you should not have it too. Because this makes me feel bad about myself when I see that you are happy and you seem fulfilled. This is really very tragic in my eyes. And it closes also the possibilities of the people seeing this beautiful dynamic to grow spirituality and emotionally. You close ways of your fulfillment instead of opening new ways to improve and leverage your life. Can one analyze the personality and determine whether it is capable of change and then continue with them on that basis? I would say if you're an aware person, yes. Maybe not directly, because you need some time to see when you are interacting with this person, when you have conversation about different topics, if this person is like really staying in their bubble or if this bubble is thin and they can change it or are capable of seeing reality. So you for sure need some time, but I think it's possible to see. But it's depending on the level of awareness.
Yeah, and also kind of, it needs time because many people are good in putting on masks and pretending and to smile in your face, to pretend that they are real, really, they can. So kind of, either one has to be aware, immediately detecting the red flags, not falling into the trap of wishful thinking, not to fall into the programming, oh, looks like this, it means that he's supposed to be intelligent. Oh, he looks like this, it means he's supposed to be not intelligent or supposed to work in a different, whatever. Not to fall into the traps of, racism, nationalism, or there's a whole programming why people make bad judgments about people. So kind of, in order for people, and also change is one of the most important values. Because if somebody cannot change and he's already locked, there is no transformation. There's no relationship that can transform. He will even resist transform. Even if I want to change in that relationship, the person will resist the transformation because he's part of this relationship. So he will be blockage in this relationship. So it is important to find people who can change. The question is, if a person is still not on that level of awareness, where they can see if the person is capable of changing or not, then he or she needs to be tested in the way that, first of all, before being tested, we need to connect the dots. We need to see the actions and the achievements, not what he's talking, what she's talking, not what they're telling about themselves, and not the actions and the achievements that are wrapped with public relations and marketing. Seeing the details of the actions, because people are genius with rewriting narratives and portraying themselves as something that they are not. So we really need to look deep into the details and the facts in order to make first impression judgment, like before falling into the traps of the image and the optics. And then when things look legit, now I need to scratch and to try to test.
But how do you mean with testing? What do you mean exactly with testing? I would like to know. Because this relationship is like alive, right? It's like a meeting between two people, two souls. This sounds so technical.
What technical?
To test.
You need to see if the person is honest.
Okay.
No. What I'm saying, testing, that's just not to be misunderstood. I don't mean like kind of setting traps.
Yes.
And making emotional manipulation. That's not what I mean. Not emotional manipulation in order to make them fall and say, aha, you're not like this. That's not the idea of testing. What I mean by testing is observing how the person is responding to crisis. How the person is responding when being challenged with rejection. Ablehnung, like how they can respond when they are rejected with inconvenience. For me, it is not kind of what I'm looking for in the response is not, oh, he's very angry. Oh, she's very, not this. What I'm testing is the level of honesty. He can express his honesty with anger. I have no problem with that. Is he honest? Because I'm not going to judge his emotional state. I'm going to judge the action and how it is relevant to the intention. And what is the achievement out of that? If the person's anger becomes destructive, then this is a problem. If someone's anger is just an indication of a loving intention to make things right, and sometimes people experience frustration, and that's fine, then I will love his anger or her anger. I will love their worries and fears. I will not judge that, but and in the contrary, if I see people that are in a moment of crisis, they're pretending to be above morality and to play a character of too much moral while they are denying truth and they're denying the common sense and the healthy emotional perception. This is a red flag.
Mm-hmm. Because then you're not in connection with reality, no? Then you kind of are in your bubble.
Yeah. Like sometimes we're talking to a person and I'm telling him something about some crisis or whatever, and something that is urgent needs to be, and the person is, smiling to project that he's a highly spiritual being that is not being triggered by emotions. Did you listen to what we said? So those are, for me, it is also important. Honesty versus hypocrisy versus readiness and willingness to do the things right. Is the person objective oriented? Has he an awareness what it means to be in the same boat? Or the person pretends to be a leader and part of the community, but actually he or she is trying just to take advantage of all the situation for their ego, for their personal needs. I need to see with whom I'm dealing with.
To hear this already gives me a good feeling, because we humans, we all have every emotion. There's anger and there's sadness and there's frustration and there's being happy. So we cannot deny this negative. I mean, there's no negative emotions, there are only emotions. So we should not deny them. And when we try not to acknowledge this frustration and anger and sadness, it puts us into more pressure. Then we also project on us a character, not only that the other person feels it, but we feel it also, and it doesn't go away. We still keep it in our body and in our spirit, and it might come out another way or sometimes some moment later, right? More accumulated.
Yeah. For me, if the emotional state is in line with reality, I will see that the person is honest and has like an intention that is in line with the objectives of the boat, of the ship. If the emotional state that is being projected is not in line with the big picture, then it is, even if the person is not destructive with his actions. For example, of course, if somebody is getting angry over a situation and starts breaking things, I don't want to deal with that person. Even if he's honest, not relevant. I'm not talking about this.
Too much.
But if somebody's angry and he's expressing his anger and he's saying blah blah blah, and it's only in an emotional state, and I see that in his anger, he's trying to understand, and he's frustrating because he's missing a point, and he's trying to understand. And if I explain the things right, and suddenly I see that it went into his consciousness, and he's, okay, problem solved, actually, yeah. And I see that the person is changeable. Then I understand that he's honest with his anger, and he's also, when he's confronted with the reality, even not everybody can see reality, but when you portray it to them with words, then it can change something in their emotional state. I'm happy with this angry person. This is perfect. On the other hand, somebody else who's not projecting anger at all. He's projecting, he's very sophisticated. And he's smiling with the eyes of a highly spiritual being who you cannot trigger so easily. I will not be triggered emotionally. But I see that the person is not present with me. He's not listening to what we are saying, but he's focusing on his image. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And even there are also other things, and you see this emotional state is also not in line with reality. It means it shows that there is a hidden agenda, hidden intention. So what I'm looking in this exchange, first of all, is honesty, will, and one signal. There's no double signals. There's no contradiction between the intention and the action, or the declared intention and the action. No, it's all one. All of it is one.
What I'm thinking when I'm hearing this is this word emotional regulation. So you both together, actually, the person is regulating themselves emotionally when they acknowledge their anger, but still try to find like a solution, like objective solution for the situation. And also the other person is like kind of helping with this dialogue. Then you together like emotionally regulate yourself. Or am I too far in the psychology? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean... this is also one theme of, again, my goal here is I'm talking about a person regulating his emotions from my perspective in order to deal with situations, or I'm in a relationship. So kind of course, my emotional state is my responsibility. So the actions that result out of my emotional state will create my reality, the feedback that I are the results of my emotions and actions. And this is my personal experience. But also sometimes I'm in a boat, I'm in a ship with other people, that we have all of us agreed on an objective. Here's the thing. Are people aware of the objective? If a person is aware of the objective, and there are misunderstandings, and there's always misunderstandings in any relationship. But I see that the person is objective-oriented, where at the moment I present the facts, they can change the person's emotional state because he acknowledges reality. Then you call it emotional regulations. I call it the person is conscious. He could change because he saw the facts. But if a person that, regardless which facts I'm presenting and how accurate they are not interested in acknowledging things, then there is double signals. Either the person is not interested in solving the problem, or is he interested in keeping the problem, or increasing the problem, or is he personally benefiting from the problem, and then there is something that is not objective oriented. Then this relationship is becoming subjective exchange from his point of view. And then I'm having red flags.
Yeah, because how can you reach the goal if the other person is not capable? Then you just, in German you would say you turn around yourself all the time, actually, and you don't go nowhere. I have another question for it, because some people have like more resilience, right? So the situation might be, for example, stressful, but if they don't feel anger or frustration because they are so resilient to it, how can you unterscheiden? Determine between differentiate between being resilient and acknowledging the situation without getting too emotional, a person that is not connected with reality.
Yeah, I mean, again, for me, the emotional state is not so relevant for my judgment unless it's destructive. So I would not say if somebody's emotionally resilient or whatever this means, somebody who's emotionally more expressive, as long as it's not destroying the objective and the ship, they are willing to experience their emotional state however they have it when it's honest. Because everybody's built otherwise. There are two kids. One child was never beaten. He was never held accountable. He was not punished for his mistakes. This person walks in the world.
It's already
Again,
40 minutes.
40 minutes,
yes.
Yeah. We have it again, 40 minutes. That will not take too long. Where was I? Two kids. One were never hurt or beaten or whatever, were never punished, were never challenged. His ego were never scratched. This child grows in the universe. Nothing can hurt me.
Yes.
He appears as he's emotionally resilient, as he's emotionally stable, because he never experienced what it means to be held accountable. He never experienced consequences. So he's too self-confident that nothing can go wrong. On the other hand, there's another child that was held accountable for the slightest mistake, not only his mistake, also the mistake of his brother. You're the adult brother. You should take care of your brother. He was punished for the mistakes of his brother. So this child grows up a little bit more emotional but more responsible. He will not make things wrong. So this emotionally resilient doesn't impress me so much. This person who's more emotionally, it looks like irritated, easily irritated or whatever, or sensitive or whatever. I love that person. Even when he's expressing his insecurities through anger or through frustration. But he's willing to do the right thing. Now, of course, I'm now presenting things with black and white, as if they're black and white. But of course, we need to see the range of things. But I'm just putting two examples in front of each other that we know that emotionally resilient doesn't mean that a person is emotionally intelligent and emotionally wealthy. It can be the total opposite. And a person who's kind of a little bit neurotic, a little bit emotional, it doesn't mean that he's not emotionally stable and he has problems. It can be that he's a very emotionally wealthy person. Perhaps he still didn't learn how to channel his emotions intelligently, and that's why he needs some emotional intelligence. But he has all the readiness to create amazing things.
I just realized how big this topic is now that we started to talk about. So I will not ask any more questions about it because it's going to be 40 more minutes, maybe even longer. Very interesting insight. I just realized that some things that I thought should be this way turned into the total opposite right now. Like several things actually in this episode.
Yeah.
I'm also very excited to rewatch it, to look from the outside onto it and to listen this conversation again.
Me too.
Yes. So thank you for this rich exchange, Shredy.
And my pleasure.
I'm very much looking forward for the next episode to come and for this to rewatch. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your support. We're looking forward to see you again next week.